For women, our bone density peaks at the age of 25. And then it goes down 1 to 2% every year after that. We're on a mission to make bone health sexy. It doesn't have to be super masculine or military or anything else, starting with a really beautiful vest. We always talk about women entering like their strongest era.
Yeah.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you can't get stronger.
Often, women don't hear the words bone density until there's already a fracture. And by then, the conversation is about damage control, not strength. My guest today is betting that you can move that conversation 20 years earlier and build a real brand in the space where prevention meets power. For nearly 2 decades, Chiara Moore was the marketer behind the moment. She co-founded the experiential agency NA Collective and ran campaigns for Nike, Twitter, and Netflix. Then she crossed over and became a brand founder. Today, she's the co-founder and COO of YVO, the women's wellness brand redefining strength in midlife, starting with a weighted vest built for the female frame and a DEXA bone density scan in every box. Some people will call that niche Chiara Solid Movement, one that sold out its first production run and has grown a community across 6 cities almost entirely by word of mouth. So today, we get into the decisions behind that, why bundle a diagnostic with a product, and how you build demand for a category women may or may not know they need and want. Chiara, welcome to Reclaim. This episode of Reclaim is brought to you by Future Digital. At Future, we partner with the next generation of category-defining health brands to scale through paid media, lifecycle marketing, and performance creative. If you're building a women's health or family brand and you're looking for a growth partner who knows your category, visit Scale with Future to start the conversation. Now, let's get into it. Chiara, I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
So you and I have known each other for a couple of years now through different groups. And I felt like, I was thinking about this heading into today. And, we've had different conversations about different businesses.
Yep.
And what I'm so excited to dive into today is about your latest venture.
Yes.
So tell us about YVO and tell us what prompted or what spurred the birthing of you joining the company, and at such a timely moment as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, it's been a journey for sure. So I met Marie, the founder of YVO, probably about 15 years ago, long before babies and long before we lived she's in Miami and obviously I'm in Austin. We met in New York, but she reached out when she started the company and said that she couldn't think of anybody better to be a co-founder with her. And at the time, I just wasn't quite ready. So I came on it as an advisor and then quickly realized I needed to figure out how to get over to be her partner. And so, yeah, I'm very, very excited. YVO, so although many people know us as the weighted vest, is what you see, it's the physical product. YVO is actually a women's wellness brand focused on bone health and women in midlife. And the first product is the weighted vest. Okay. And so it's the YVO Warrior Vest. And I've been wearing it around for months, which is really exciting. Yeah. And now we've officially got it out into the world. So you'll start to see them.
I guess maybe just zooming out for a moment.
Yeah.
How long has YVO been around, and what's the overarching women's health? So starting with the weighted vests, like what's the series of products or offerings that are being rolled out, and we can even zoom out that far.
So YVO's been around less than a year. Okay. It's only been about 8 months since the company was founded. It was founded because Marie, our founder, was given an osteopenia diagnosis. She went and got a bone scan, and she's super fit, does marathons, triathlons, eats well, and was like, what am I doing wrong? Yeah. Started looking into the research, and it's actually wild. Our bone density peaks at the age of 25. And then it goes down 1 to 2% every year after that, especially if you don't do things to offset. So I know right now, big in the health and wellness space, everybody's talking about strength training and lifting heavy weights as you get older. For a lot of women, that's very daunting. If they haven't worked out their whole life, it's a lot to go to the gym and be like, let me pick up a 20-pound weight. And so for Marie, she started doing a ton of research and started trying on all of the vests on the market, all of the weighted vests. And they were really meant for men. They were designed for men. They were bulky. It looked like you were joining the military. They didn't quite fit over breasts. They just were not designed for us. And so that was really the impetus of coming up with the brand and the first product, the vest, the Evo Warrior vest. Okay. The name Evo came from Marie is Bolivian. And so it's kind of to her roots. The original name was Evote, which we just felt was a little tough to pronounce, and Evo is much easier. So we landed with Evo, YVO, but we still keep the arrow in our logo, which is the original Evote, kind of just nicely designed. But so focused on the vest first. That was kind of the main focus, designing a vest that was one, elevated. We're on a mission to make bone health sexy. It doesn't have to be super masculine or military or anything else. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But starting with a really beautiful vest, one that's machine washable, customizable in weight. So a lot of them are set weights. And when you're first starting out, you don't know, if you've never carried weight before, you don't know what to choose. So having an option between 0 and 20 pounds in terms of how you weight the vests. Just building one that actually is what we need, what we would like and what she wanted. And so that was the impetus for creating the first prototype of the Evo vest, which I have to give her massive credit for. She got it designed, produced, and started shipping in less than 8 months, which is unheard of. But she is, when you say a hustler, she is definitely that. And her background was at Adidas and Chanel. And so she had a lot of experience with product, but it's a beautiful vest because of her design.
I didn't realize that so many weighted vests were not designed for women. And I say this because when I go out for a walk on Butler Trail, I see so many weighted vests these days. And so help me understand, especially for those listening, like what is the current landscape, right? Like how many weighted vests are popular or certain brands that are popular for women right now? You started to get into the differentiators. Like, I'm very curious about that. I've seen the vest. I think it looks beautiful, but I didn't realize that there were so many vests that were not designed for women.
Correct. Yeah. The original rucking comes from the military. It's walking with weight. And so it was military training. And so I think it really started in the CrossFit space. You hear about the Murph, the kind of Memorial Day challenge that everybody does. That is kind of like the beginning of rucking. And so a lot of people will do the Murph with a weighted vest, and they are all very much those kind of like very military style vests, but it's also a military workout. So that makes sense. And so I think there's companies like Go Ruck that have been around forever. Go Ruck, I think, is one of the originals. It's a big metal plate, more of like a backpack. And it was meant for more of like a military style endurance event. There were a lot of like, actually in Austin years ago, there were a ton of overnight like rucks where you rucked in the dark. With a backpack full of weight. Which is great, but again, not necessarily the most comfortable or the most balanced for your body, especially as a female. You don't want to just carry all your weight in your back. And so there's a number of different ones on the market now, and a lot of them like Mofo. There's Go Ruck did come out with a women's version. But a lot of them are set weights. So the Go Ruck women's versions only come in specific weights. So I think it's like, I want to say it's 6, 8, and 12, or 8, 10, and 12. I personally ruck with 20 pounds. So I was like, well, that's not going to work for me. It is cut a little bit more to the female body, but it doesn't give you the flexibility, and you can't wash them. Amorpho is a really beautifully designed vest, but it came out of the idea of like weighted clothing. So for an actual workout, so something that's like really tight fitting, so it's not going to move while you're doing jump squats or lunges or whatever. And so that's a very different one as well. It's also usually lower weight. You're not going to do that with 20 pounds. I mean, you could 100%, but I don't think that's the intention. And so the weight doesn't go up that high, and you can't swap it out again. So there's a number of different ones on the market. And you'll see a lot of new ones popping up, which I think for us just means like it is a hot topic right now.
Absolutely.
Obviously with like Dr. Stacey Sims and Vonda Wright, like everybody's kind of talking about it, and with menopause. you need to walk with weight. It's very good for your bones. But yeah, the vests themselves on the market just were not really meant for the female form. So there's a few points of differentiation about our vests, and I have it so I can pull it up and show you. But so you'll kind of see, first is the shape of it. So these cutouts, this kind of sits perfectly around your breast, which I think there's a few things. One, a lot of them you'll see is like a T shape and it sits right on your chest or right above your breast.
Yes. Okay.
We actually have a big community of members that have had double mastectomies, breast implants, and that weight sitting on that is really uncomfortable. So it kind of cutting around the breast is much more comfortable to carry the weight and allows you to carry more weight, and also is just better physically for your body. From a weight perspective, we have multiple spots where you can put the weight. So you can put them in the outsides, and they're little 2.5 pound weights. They come with 8 of them.
Very
so
pretty
you can,
too.
Yeah. So you can do anything from 2.5 pounds, 0 pounds, all the way up to 20.
Okay.
And you can weight both sides. So there's a pack on both sides and then the back. So you can choose how you want the weight distributed.
Yes.
Of course, we're women, so we always have many things that we're carrying, whether it's phones, sunglasses. We've got little pockets up here for our headphones.
Nice.
We've got clip here if you need a key or something else that you're carrying. One of the really cool ideas that we're working on right now is we have an app, and where there's surprisingly no apps on the market that you can add in how much weight you're carrying.
Interesting.
Which is wild to me.
Yes.
So we have an app where you can put in whichever vest, doesn't matter, and how much weight you're carrying, and it'll track it. And the idea is in the future, as we start to build up our community, you'll get little charms that will show, kind of like Peloton, like when you unlock certain levels. And so that second hook is for the charm. So eventually you'll unlock different levels of the charms. And then,
I mean, that's a very pretty vest.
It's a beautiful vest. I'm not going to lie. I've been wearing it to so many events and at South by and everything else. And not only that, but like it holds my lipstick, it holds my cards, it holds everything. And it's just pretty. And it makes your boobs look good.
I've been in the market for a vest. And when I saw you the other night, I was like, this is going to be the one I'm going to buy.
Yes, it is beautiful. Another key part differentiation with the vest is this is really meant for women in midlife, and we are trying to help them grow old healthily. And so every vest that you purchase, that gets purchased, comes with a free DEXA scan by Body Spec. I know you know Lane, and she was just here too. But yeah, so all of our vests come with a DEXA scan. So the idea is like get your baseline, get your bone density, kind of know where you're starting, start walking with weight. And I think many women would be surprised that they can not only retain their bone density, but build it back.
Do you know your customer? So I guess a couple of questions with this being a newer brand, newer product in the marketplace. How are your first customers finding you? And how aware are your customers of the connection between weighted vests and bone health and even getting a DEXA scan? Or is there a lot of education that you're finding that is required?
There's a good amount of education. But I also think the consumers are getting smarter. There's a lot of, whether it's influencers or people like Dr. Stacey Sims or podcasts like Huberman Lab, like I feel like they're getting more educated in terms of what they can and should be doing. I feel like 20 years ago, our parents didn't know that. And so, I mean, I was literally telling my mom the other day, she needs to go walk with her weighted vest.
Of course.
But I think it's getting easier. The information is out there if you know where to look for it. I do think one of the things that we did that is honestly like really, really important to the brand is community. And so what it started with was Marie just walking with some friends with whatever weighted vest they had in Miami. And what it grew to is 3 groups in Miami walking with weighted vests weekly. 2 in Austin, 1 in New York, and 1 in LA.
Over how long?
And we're still growing. 8 months.
8 months. Okay.
Yeah.
How large are these groups?
So we have almost 600 women in a WhatsApp group broken out by city. And they just walk together. It doesn't matter what vest you have, who cares, as long it's just about the community and the conversation. But from a brand perspective, it was a really great way to get our consumers doing the motion, doing the activity before we were able to introduce our vest. And then they were obviously our first adopters who wanted to purchase it because they'd heard about it for so long.
Love that. Love
Yeah.
that.
And then it's just really like women spreading the word of coming to walk together. So I think what sets us apart also is we're not trying to do a really heavy workout with a ruck. It's a very low barrier to entry. It's like start with no weight and just come walk with us. Then add a couple pounds, see how you feel. Like you don't have to start with 20 pounds out the gate. And I think that's what a lot of the rucking groups oftentimes like it feels it feels more aggressive, or it feels like the bar is set higher and they're like, oh, I don't know that I can do that. And it's actually like, no, this is just come and walk with us and then work your way up to it and we'll guide you. It really, all that matters is carrying 10% of your body weight.
Yeah.
And that's where you start to see the difference.
And how many of your early customers now are tracking their body composition versus it being more like, I feel different, I feel stronger? Yeah.
Yeah. So body spec is obviously growing. So if our vest purchasers don't live in an area where there's a body spec, unfortunately, they may not be able to have gotten their baseline. But I know Body Spec's opening some additional locations, which is exciting.
Yes.
But our redemption rate is pretty strong. I would say it's about 70 to 80% of our purchasers are actually going and getting a DEXA scan.
I love that.
And a lot of them know kind of where they sit with their bone health. And this is like one of their really important steps forward to trying to help improve it.
And based on studies, how long does it start to have impact? Are you starting to see results?
Yeah. I'm not a doctor, so I can't say it for everybody.
I'm curious.
No, for everybody, I think it's a little different, but it's usually a few months. Like it's not going to be immediate, but I do think people will find that they feel stronger within a few weeks. Whenever you try something new, if you're not used to it, you are maybe going to be sore a little bit. Or if you started with a really lightweight, you may feel like, okay, this is manageable. I did it. It's not about trying to go out and do 30 miles. It's like, just do a couple miles with some friends. You'll forget about the distance because you're talking.
Yes.
And then you'll realize that you're feeling stronger.
Yeah. And is the initial channel D2C, or what's the current
so right now
go-to-market?
it's all D2C. Okay. So it's through evowarrior.com.
Okay.
We do have a number of affiliate links now. We're up on ShopMy. So that's been one channel for us. We've worked with Tamsin Fadal, who is a big advocate in the menopause space. She's been a huge advocate of the brand from the beginning, and she has invited us to her hot to trot walks in a number of different cities. Yes. And so she's been very helpful in getting those links out. So that's exciting. We just had our first affiliate sale from her today. So that was
super
a big
exciting.
Moment.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's D2C. We do have some plans, and we've been talking to some partners about potentially doing retail, but I think it would be like a really curated list of partners. Like I don't know that we would necessarily just go into like a big box retailer.
Right.
It is a higher price point vest, and it is meant to be a little bit more of like an elevated, stylized weighted vest.
Yes. That I appreciate how specific your messaging is and your initial customer segment. Woman, perimenopause and menopause. Yes. I mean, it's so clear and so specific that it's so easy to hear and receive. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes it easier. It's like it's not that younger women wouldn't benefit from it 100%. The earlier you start, the better. But it is really about midlife. And I think for Marie and I, we're both around the same age. We're both just over 40. It's literally, we're living it. It's our lives too. And we're highly focused on longevity. And although I don't have osteopenia, I actually have very strong bones, thankfully, but I've also been lifting heavy for a while and walking with weight for a while. So it does make a difference.
So maybe circling back to your own personal journey, you've been a founder before, and I want to dive a little bit more into your path and what brought you here, and for you to move from strategic advisor to co-founder.
Yes. Yeah. So let's see. How far back are we going?
Especially as it ties to health and wellness.
I'm a born and raised New Yorker who moved to Austin in 2018. So before, I think my first start into health and wellness was I started an agency called NA Collective in 2014 in New York. My first client was Nike. So I had an opportunity before I started the agency to produce. I was an event producer. That was my experiential all the way. And everybody will still know me as experiential. And it's taken me years to prove that I'm not just experiential, but experiential. And I built a skate park on a barge for Nike. It was a 275-foot long barge that was 80 feet wide. And it was the most ridiculous thing that like New York City waterways had ever heard of. It took multiple favors from multiple Coast Guard retirees and everything else to get this approved because nobody knew who was gonna approve it. Yeah. That was really the impetus of me starting my agency. So we started NA Collective. My business partner and I at that point was my technical director. And I just really loved working with Nike. I almost took a job at Nike, decided to start the agency, and I always loved the fitness brands that we worked with. So we did a lot with Nike. I had never really run before. I wasn't a runner. I played a ton of sports growing up, like everything, you name it, I tried it. But then I went to college, I went to business school and was like, I'm not going to be a professional athlete, so I got to figure something out. But when I started working with Nike, we started doing their marathon run clubs. And the beginning of it all started with one client challenging me. We were doing their marathon training program. They were doing I think it was an 18-mile day. And he was like, just run as far as you can. And everybody on my team was like betting. They were like, oh, she'll make it like 2 miles. Oh, she'll make it 5 miles. I ran 16 miles. And I was like, all right, y'all, nobody's allowed to say anything anymore because I proved myself. But then after that, my Nike clients were like, well, you run with us now every week and your team's got it. Like you run. And I started running marathons. And that was kind of my like big leap back into fitness. And so I ran a marathon on every continent. And then all of the clients that would come through our doors at NA Collective, the fitness ones were my favorite. We worked with a number of different ones. I was also my ties in Austin when I closed the agency during COVID. I was pregnant and I was like, I just need a breather.
I remember, yes.
Yep. Yes. And had my first child. And I think a lot of things changed. That was when I kind of took a step back from founder mode. And I didn't really want to be trying to build something while literally trying to like build and take care of a human.
Because your business is another baby.
My business was truly my baby. Yes. And I had 35 children who were incredible and I loved them all. Yeah. But then I had my own child. And so that was my chance to just kind of reset. And I did some consulting. I worked at a couple of startups, one of which was also in the outdoor active space. And then I was CMO of the nonprofit that's near and dear to my heart, Flatwater, which was my other kind of launching point into health and wellness. So when my father passed away, the founder of Flatwater, his father had gotten sick and he started Flatwater and it was all about stand-up paddleboarding. And so that was like the kind of a mental reset for us of like finding our Flatwater. And so all of these different connections and fitness and health and wellness were just always what made me happy. Yeah. And when Marie reached out to me and told me about YVO and her idea for it, I was like, oh my God, I like literally just bought a weighted vest. I walk with my dog in my vest every day. Okay. And I was like, I would give anything to just be back in the fitness space. And I spent the last 8 months like doing my jobs and, I was working at another startup and that was great. Yeah. But I just really missed the health and wellness space. Like it's just truly me. Like it's so important to me. I work out every day. I strength train every day. I haven't run a marathon since kids, but at some point in life, I will get back to that. Yeah. But it's just what I'm passionate about. Yeah. I feel better about myself mentally. I can show up better for my kids when I've taken some time for myself in the morning to get stronger.
And so what, you shared that you just bought a weighted vest when Marie reached out. Yeah. And so I'm curious what specifically about, I'm guessing it's a combination of Marie and YVO and the brand and what it stands for. But I'm curious, like if there was something else that just had you, or maybe it was timing. It's like, okay, like this is going to be my next iteration, my next evolution. Or maybe you're even saying, or like you knew, like this is my life's work. Like I'm curious kind of what was going on in that narrative there.
I I feel like since closing the agency, I'd kind of struggled of like
Okay.
where I was like not defined by being a founder, but
Sure.
like it was a part of my life for 8 years.
Yes.
And I was really proud of that.
Yes.
And so I, tried to play a few different roles, but I'm like truly a weird jack of all trades, like
Yeah.
operator, creative, marketer, like all the things. And
Mhm.
so I kind of missed playing all those hats. And I
Yeah.
was kind of thinking around the time that Marie reached out, like I missed being a founder. I
Yeah.
missed like really being passionate about something and working really hard to build it.
Yeah.
And I finally felt like my kids, I'm not constantly trying to keep them alive every day, all day.
Yeah.
And so maybe now is the time that I could start to do that again. But I
Mm.
wasn't sure what I was going to do and I didn't know how to start it. I'm not necessarily the creative, like visionary person. I don't have always the ideas, but I'm the person that people come to where they're like, I have this idea. And I'm like, I know how to do it.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm the person, I'm the operator. I'm
Okay.
the like, I'm going to figure out how to get stuff done. And I
Yeah.
think that comes from experiential. Like, it's one of those things. My favorite part about experiential was that every project was totally different. And I became like a complete expert about the most random things. Like I knew all about bathymetric surveys with the barge and like
Yeah.
underwater, what you had to look for in order to like dredge for a barge, ridiculous things. But I loved that. And I think for me, when Marie came with the idea, it wasn't just, yes, I love the idea of weighted vests. I think
Mhm.
it will be successful because I think the timing was perfect in
Yeah.
the marketplace of what consumers are looking for. And there's not a female focused one that I felt really spoke to me at the time.
Mm.
But more than just that, well, one, I love Marie. She's
Yeah.
fantastic. And I have so much respect for her.
Yes.
And what she created as a vision for this brand is one, something I could get behind. Like the brand itself stands for something.
Yeah.
Aesthetically, it's beautiful. And I
Yeah.
love working on beautiful brands where I'm like, yes, the logo, the font face, the color palette, like it all just, it's consistent and it works and it is elevated. And so I think it was just a combination of things.
Yeah.
And then the timing just became right. And I'm really excited to like lay groundwork, especially now with AI and all the technology
Mhm.
tools, like to be able to be operations for this type of company for me brings all of the skills and the roles that I've played over the years together.
Yeah.
And the funniest part of all of it is so both my parents owned their own companies and
Mm.
they both imported and distributed from overseas. My mom
Oh.
was watch bands, my dad was eyeglasses. And like one of my first weeks when Marie was like, okay, we're going to do this, I'm going to start bringing you into the fold. We had a problem with like a shipping pallet. It was the first time we like kind of slow boated on a ship our vests versus air freight.
Mm.
And so like the bill of lading needed a different type of bond. And so she was like stressed trying to work on raising and everything else. And I was like, "Oh, I got this." She was like,
Yes.
"Really?" And I was like, "Yes. Oh, literally like I have dealt with shipping stuff all over the world my entire career."
Mm.
And it was like just one of those moments where I was like, that random skill that I have is now truly going to help us. And like
So
back in
needed.
like, yeah,
Yes, and so
yeah,
useful.
so
Yes.
helpful, and got on the phone with the shipping carriers and the brokers and the customs. And I was like, oh yeah, like we dealt with all of this with my mom's company and CITES and Fish and Wildlife because she was leather goods. And like,
Wow.
I was like, love a good challenge. Let's go.
What's the market opportunity right now for a weighted vest for women? Like what percentage of women are wearing a weighted or wear using one, want to get another one, or outgrown theirs? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's huge.
Okay.
It's honestly the market is huge. I don't like I probably need to double check my numbers
It's okay.
of what's in our pitch deck right now,
Yeah.
but I mean the market is really large.
Okay.
It's I mean bigger than I thought it was,
Okay.
honestly, and I think what we've seen, so Mind Body Green is an advisor for us, and Thames Infidel is really involved. And just seeing all of the players in the menopause space,
Mm.
it may be also because I'm that age. So it's like definitely what I'm definitely getting fed all of that on a daily basis. But the market is huge. And
Yeah.
because the vest is for women of all ages,
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, you could be 20 and it will still serve value. It is a higher price point, so I
Sure.
would say like our demographic is probably a little bit older than a 25-year-old, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can pull some numbers for you. I just don't know them off the top of my head.
And so, like, how many units are produced? Like, what's the current market expansion?
Yeah.
Because it sounded like there's been some organic activity. Like,
Yeah.
kind of what's next for this next phase?
We sold out of our first run, which was super exciting. It was
Okay.
300 vests.
Okay.
Our signature color is the green, which is the one that I had up before. And so, yeah, the first run sold out. We did a wait list. So we did like a pre-order and a wait list, sold those out. We've got a second batch that just came in that we're actively selling and shipping.
Okay.
And then we've got another couple thousand that are coming in. So
Nice.
trying to kind of slowly ramp the inventory so that we're not inundated with inventory before we have the demand. But
Sure.
we've got a few tricks up our sleeves that we're going to be announcing in the coming months that I
Yeah?
can't really say yet. But I think by
Okay.
the time this podcast is live, it should be announced.
How are you able to share how large the wait list? I just want to geek out for a moment. And we can
There's
always
no wait
take
list
this
right now. Right now
Okay.
we're actively shipping.
Okay,
But
got it.
previously, we had I think we had about 175 pre-orders.
Okay. Wow.
And
Wow.
that we opened pre-orders on September 1st, and then they shipped in December.
Yes. And will like ads, organic, influencers, I'm curious what the channel play will be.
Yes, the
or
channel
is.
play. Yeah. So right now it's been pretty light. We haven't spent a lot of paid yet. Honestly, just because until we had the inventory,
Makes sense.
it was, it's hard to push a pre-order.
Yeah.
And so the pre-orders was really organic through the community of the rocking community that Marie had started on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
That I would say that was where probably like 90% of the pre-orders came from, was friends and family and that community.
Yeah.
Beyond that, Tamsin, every time we've done a Tamsin Hot to Trot walk, honestly, we've sold it's usually like 10% of the audience. So anywhere from 5 to 10 vests will sell at a Tamsin event, which is huge.
Yeah.
And now what we're really ramping up for is affiliate and influencers.
Got it.
So we're doing our Austin launch event on April 4th, which is my birthday.
Yes.
So you should come.
Yes, of course.
But so we have a really amazing gal that we just brought on that's going to be helping us with our influencer outreach. And so we're going to be gifting some vests. We've allocated an allotment to gift for influencers. We've got a pretty hefty press list of invites. And then beyond that, we're going to be really rolling out an affiliate program and then paid. I think it's probably, I'll tell you what the announcement is. We're literally about to sign, but Tamsin Fadal is coming on as our chief wellness officer.
Wow.
So it'll be an official partnership.
Huge.
Yes.
So exciting.
She's been a huge proponent of the brand from the beginning.
Wow.
And she's brought us along. There's actually an event this weekend with her. So yeah, and Mind Body Green has been phenomenal. Colleen, she's an official advisor, but she brings us to every Mind Body Green event. So Marie's actually on site in Miami right now, setting up at Revitalize, which is tomorrow. And so it's just been really thankful for all of the amazing women that have been advocates for the brand.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
So we have a whole paid strategy that's going to roll out when the Tamsin partnership gets announced.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got the team lined up. We're working on new assets now, but yeah, it's really been bootstrapped. So now we're doing a small
I was just going to ask
bridge
about
round.
Yes, okay.
So Marie did an initial pre-seed round.
Okay.
We're going to do a bridge round right now so that we can really push some of our paid efforts and our affiliate program. And then we'll do an actual seed round later this summer.
Wow. That's soon.
Yeah.
Are you building out team or kind of what's the division of roles? Yes.
So Marie is a magician when it comes to partnership and sales.
I'm starting to get that. Yeah.
She knows everybody. Okay. She's so lovely, but she knows everybody. She's worked with a lot of amazing people and she just is just lovely. And I think people are just gravitate towards her.
Yeah.
So she's a bit of like the face of the brand and partnerships and sales. And she's definitely the most skilled when it comes to a raise. She was previously at a VC firm in Miami. She was their CMO. So she's got a lot of those connections. I am operations and we kind of split marketing. She's really, I would call her like the creative director of the brand. It was her kind of brainchild. It's beautiful. So
yeah,
no qualms there. I would gladly will execute her vision. And I'm not a creative director. So she's doing the brand sales, partnerships, very heavily community. We have a community lead, Jackie, who's full-time. She's been on with the brand part-time, and now she's coming on full-time, and she leads all of the rucking communities. She's a wellness coach and trained in yoga and breath work and everything else.
Wow. Okay.
So she's great, and she leads breath work before most of the rucks in Miami, and then she's going to be out here for the April 4th event.
Okay.
And so really what I'm doing right now is a lot of operations, like so setting the groundwork, really setting us up to be able to scale quickly.
Yeah.
So making sure that while Marie is off doing her piece, all of our finances, our operating plan, our tech stack, our AI tech stack, because now that's a big piece of how we operate, just really organizing everything so that we are set, everything is documented and really clear so that as we bring people on and as we scale, we can really move quickly.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And then bringing, of course, like paid marketing is also my jam. So bringing that on and kind of working through some agency partners and then how we can quickly use AI to create some assets and scale and just kind of consistently be pumping out content, which is the hardest thing to do.
I love that. I'm very excited for you. I've known you for several years now, and I've seen you go through your identity shifts with being a mom. I remember our conversations around that. And so I can see you entering into this new identity stage that's also getting defined.
Yeah.
And I think your timing for this product could not have been more perfect. I mean, it is so needed. Women's health, menopause, there has never been more attention on it. I know that I see that with our clients' ads, especially when we're getting into very segmented messaging. It's so timely, and I'm so excited for you on that.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. It feels, honestly, it's the first time in a while where I've been like, okay, like clear vision, clear plan. And I like wake up every morning and I have more ideas and I'm excited to like dig into it.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. It's great to work with an amazing team of women and just like everybody's really on top of it. Yeah. It's like we're all just hustling and making connections. And it's just really exciting to see how many people love the product and love the brand and starting to think through what like I said in the beginning, the vest is just the first product. So we're talking about maybe supplements. We're talking about, really anything and everything that would support bone health. That is our main focus.
I love that thread. Yes. What, with this podcast being called Reclaim?
Yes.
What would you say in your words that you're helping your customers, the woman reclaim for themselves? And you just talked about bone health, so it's like perfect segue.
Yes. I would say reclaiming their strength. Like we always talk about women entering like their strongest era.
Yeah.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you can't get stronger.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Quotable. So good. So good. Any last words about your vision and what you're building?
Yeah. I mean, we're making bone health sexy. It's the goal. But no, I think just you can put your strength and your bones first and still look good, feel good, and still walk and talk with your friends.
Love it.
Do all the things.
Oh, love it. Love it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Oh, this was such a great conversation. I can't wait to be wearing the vest around walking on Butler Trail.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Yeah. Awesome. We'll see you out there.
One more thing. Reclaim reaches founders, operators, and investors, building the future of health and wellness. If your brand wants to be in front of this audience, sponsorship slots are opening up. Reach out at support@scalewithfuture.com. The link is in the show notes.